Hello everybody and welcome to my video of Boston Stump. Now this has been pre-recorded and the narration was recorded separately because I didn't want all the background noise and everything and the wind and stuff in the video. So St. Botolphs Church, or more affectionately known by the local community as Boston Stump, has the highest tower of any parish church, and is the tallest parish church to its roof. The tower itself is 83 metres tall, which actually doesn't sound that much, but yeah, which is weird. But then for buildings of its size, which were mainly cathedrals of that sort of big, that sort of took ages. But the Boston Stump, the entire church itself, including the tower, were actually built relatively quickly, even though it took 3 centuries, basically. So the Boston Stump is actually Lincolnshire's oldest church. Actually, and not many churches can say that. We are the oldest church of the county. I mean, obviously other counties have other churches that are older, but this is Lincolnshire's oldest church. Now the Boston Stump has several several parts of it that correspond to different time scales and things. Like, there are 12 pillars that hold up the roof, indicating 12 months of the year. There are 7 doors to enter the building, as in 7 days a week. There are 52 windows, as in 52 weeks in a year. There are 365 steps in the tower, which would indicate 365 days a year. So I don't know what they do on their leap year. Go one step twice. There are 60 steps to the roof, minutes and seconds, and there are 24 steps to the library, which of course is hours in a day. So that's quite good. And as I move into the top of the actual tower itself, you'll probably, well, you might not see this, but it has excellent views, which include the Maud Foster windmill, which is the tallest working windmill in England, apparently, and Lincoln Cathedral. Don't know if you actually see that. Well, yeah, I mean, you'd have to have bloody good eyesight. And I'm up there with a mobile phone and set binoculars, so yeah. So, the Boston Stump was founded. The Boston Stump was founded in 1309 and was built by 1390. And the tower was begun in 1425 to 1430 and was finished in 1510 to 1520. I don't think anyone knows the exact date, but that's the information I got from the internet. The church itself replaced a smaller Norman church made of wood and stone. That church was deemed inadequate due to a high trading revenue of Boston, and it's the trading revenue that actually matched London at one particular point. And also a theological centre with 4 monasteries. So, Boston having a large community and everything, it was thought that the church was a bit too small. Also, a little bit of local history here. John Taverner is buried under the tower. John Taverner himself being a composer from the 16th century. So yeah, he's buried under the tower itself, which is, quite good. Just round the corner from me is Taverner Road. So, it's quite relevant to me, really, and to all the people that live there. Boston's settlement was in 654 AD by a Saxon monk named Botolph, who established a small monastery. So now I know where the term St. Botolphs Church came from. The Stump can be seen from across the Wash in Norfolk and East Anglia. In the 13th century, Boston was the leading port of England, which is quite interesting. I didn't know we were a leading port at any time, never mind in the 13th century. The tower itself actually leans by a half a centimetre, which is totally unnoticeable, and I don't know why that piece of information is even written down anywhere on the internet. But yeah, apparently the tower itself leans by half a centimetre, which actually isn't much for a tower of its size, apparently. The church was built surprisingly quickly, as I said, compared to other buildings of similar size. It's the widest parish church, it's the tallest to roof, and one of the largest churches by floor area. There are 26 bells in the Stump, 15 carillon bells. I have no idea what they are, but if you know what a carillon bell is, then tell me. It's got 10 bells for full circle ringing, and the sanctuary bell. Oh yeah, and the old ship's bell. So 27 if you count that one. The Stump was very important in World War II due to Lincolnshire's proliferation of air bases. I don't know why I wrote that word down. It's far too big and complicated for me to say. Actually, no, it's not. But okay. Sorry, I shouldn't swear on this video. It's general interest. So yeah, due to Lincolnshire's proliferation of air bases, British and American pilots would use the Stump as a signpost, guarding them back to base, that particularly around Lincoln, a place like that. Yeah. The Luftwaffe also used it as a marker, although Boston itself was seldom bombed. Thank God. Ha ha! Thank God, and it's a church. Yeah. The church library has a large number of books, with notable ones including a 1542 edition of the works of Geoffrey Chaucer, St. Augustine's commentary on Genesis, the Book of Common Prayer 1549, a 1585 Baskerville Bible, and a collection of books by Erasmus, a Dutch philosopher and theologian. The library itself is also one of the biggest church libraries in England. So, yeah, Boston Stump has a lot of things to boast about, basically. John Cotton, a 17th century vicar of the church, moved to Massachusetts in 1633 and founded the Cotton Chapel. So any of you that live in Massachusetts, maybe in Boston, look out for a place called the Cotton Chapel. Ask about it if you don't know where it is. And the Boston Stump itself is a member of the Greater Churches group. I have no idea what that is. Other notable things in Boston are Fidel House, which was owned by the Fidel family, who were wine merchants and mayors of the town of Boston. Events in Boston include weekly markets, which are on Wednesdays and Saturdays. The Party in the Park every July, of which I have played in several years ago. I mean, at the time of recording this video, now 2010, I think it was at least 8 years ago. It was back when I was at secondary school, when I played in a samba band. So that was quite some time ago. Also, we have King Henry VIII's chartered May Fair, which comes every year in May. obviously. Quite near the beginning of May. Yeah, there's probably stuff on the internet of people recording Boston Mayfair. Now, I've actually realised that all the information I currently have about Boston Stump isn't long enough to go with the video. So, I'm going to have to find some extra information about the Stump itself and the town of Boston. There's also one other piece of information about Boston, is that Boston in Massachusetts actually contained a lot of settlers when, like, the English people first went to America, stuff like that. The Boston America was founded by lots of settlers from England, in particular Boston in England, and so the city or town of Boston in Massachusetts was actually named after the town of Boston in England. Normally when you say Boston to people, they go, "Oh, America." You go, "No, England." So yeah, so now you know there's a Boston in England, if you didn't already know. And some of you actually live here. And actually, if you're one of my viewers from America and you happen to live in Boston, Massachusetts, that's brilliant. Now you know where your town or city, I can't remember if it's a town or a city, sorry. Now you know where your town or city got its name. And also, Boston played a large part, somehow, I can't quite work out how, I haven't got all the information, but we had some part in the 100 Years' War, which, as you know, as you probably know, didn't last 100 years. It actually lasted 114, I think. But that's one of the questions you get in quizzes that really annoys you. How long did the 100 Years' War last? Yeah. So Boston was quite important throughout the years, but not anymore, obviously. I mean, nowadays Boston isn't even important to England's own royal family. In fact, the only person that even comes down here is Princess Anne. But yeah, can't really say much wrong about the royal family. It'd be nice to have the Queen or someone to come down here. So, thank you for watching my brilliant video about the Boston Stump. I hope you enjoyed hearing most of this information, and maybe you'll consider visiting it as a tourist attraction, which is basically what it is. I mean, it's what puts Boston on the map. Yeah, that's basically about it. But yeah, trying to get more people interested in not just Boston itself, but in the church as well. Not as a religious place, not just as a religious place, but also as a fact that it's, a brilliant wonder of British engineering, basically. I mean, to have a tower that tall and not have it lean much is no mean feat, really. So yeah, so I hope you find my Boston Stump video interesting, and stay tuned for more videos on my account quite soon. Now I've got my laptop back and it's working properly for a change. And hopefully I won't have any more of these problems where I'm recording in my voice suddenly goes like that.